Hey guys, check out this mule deer mount here in my shop. I'm going to mount my favorite set of mule deer antlers on it, and it's gonna be quick, so let's do it. We're joined by Happy, huh? He's acting kind of nervous in here. I don't know if he's unsure about that new mount or not, but guys, these are the antlers I'm going to mount on that buck, and I am so excited. These are probably my favorite mule deer antlers I have ever found.
Well, here's what I found today. Huge set right here. It's my biggest set of deer sheds, and pretty glad I found something that big. Got cheaters on both sides. Right there.
In the remote canyon in northeastern. So when I was young, I'm probably talking like 16 or 17, I went out to the Uinta Basin and I found this set of mule deer antlers. And I was so excited, and I remember even back then telling all my friends, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find his antlers the next year. And back then that was kind of unheard of. People were kind of confused to think that you could even locate the same deer. So I was lucky enough to find his right side the year after. And unfortunately for me, I did not match him up. So I have 2 years off this sweet buck. I honestly wish so bad I could have found him. So that's the year I have the set next to the single. And again, these were found back in either 99 or 2000. And it is my favorite mule deer set ever. Now this right here, guys, let me tell you a little bit about this mount and where I got it. This taxidermy was done by Bryan Larsen of Larsen Wildlife Artistry. You can find him on Instagram. This is a new product that he is offering to customers, and I think it is one of the coolest ideas I've ever seen in the taxidermy industry. Now take a look at his pedicles. Probably wondering like, what the heck, right? They got holes in his pedicles. So what we're gonna do is mount this on the Antler Tech skull plate system, which is powered by rack hub. And if you guys remember, a while back ago, I had some elk antlers up on a rack hub, and I've used them in many, many ways throughout the shop, and I love the rack hub product. So this is going to be inserted into this little pocket. So as you can see, this has got a little slot right there. It needs to slide in and lock. And now you have a peg on a ball joint to give you all sorts of angles. And the way that you get these mounted is you have to tap into the antlers and just gently tap in this little insert. When I got this from Bryan anyways, it came with some instructions, which I'm very familiar with how to do this stuff. There's a couple barcodes that'll show you exactly how to do it. But it comes with a drill bit that you're gonna need, an Allen wrench, which is the locking key for the ball joints, and then these two little inserts. These are the inserts that we're gonna drill and just tap into the shed antlers. So when I finally decided which set I was gonna mount, I knew I wanted to mount them and I wanted to do a really good job. So to do that, I did decide to kind of shave down the burrs. So the outside one is a natural burr, and then obviously the one closest to me has been sanded down. And I did that because I want it to sit in as perfectly as possible so this mount looks as good as it can. So now that the bottom of the burrs are flat, once I put this in, that hair is gonna cover the burr. I didn't want it to be elevated in a way that it would show some of the actual burr, and it, you know, it wouldn't look good, it wouldn't look natural. But just to give you guys an idea, that's probably how it's gonna look, and it looks so dang good. This set was found early in the spring. They are very light colored, and I can tell that they were never too dark. The darkest that it has is kind of on that backside. So I know they got sun bleached maybe a little bit, but this was a resident lowland desert buck. So I know his antlers never got really, really dark, because as you can see, year to year, they didn't change much at all. So he's not gonna look like some of these dark antlered bucks I have up on the wall, but I think once we get those on there, it's gonna look dang good. So I wanna say thanks again to Bryan Larsen for hooking it up with the buck. This is a product he's going to be selling, so he's gonna get his hands on as many mule deer capes and probably even elk capes. He'll have the shoulder mount mounted and ready, and all you have to do is buy it and attach any set you want. Now don't forget, this doesn't only work for shed antlers. You can cut off an old buck on a skull plate and do the exact same thing I'm about to do. We've got to drill out about an inch into the antler, so I'm just going to kind of mark that. Sometimes I'll put a little piece of tape so I know exactly how deep I need to go. So I've got to have that, the Milwaukee drill, so we'll swap those out real quick, and then gently need to tap these in. I should probably get a rubber mallet, which I don't have, so I might just have to have a hammer and maybe a cloth. And then I'm going to loosen these up, and we're going to get this thing positioned on there just how we want it. There's a sweet look at the buck. Okay guys, I'm completely aware that I should have a vice grip, and it would probably make this a lot easier and a lot safer, but I do not. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this first burr out. Again, I need to go about an inch deep. There's the hole I drilled. I just held it by my hand, and this is the insert you need. Hit it there. Now it calls for a rubber mallet, which I don't have, so I'm going to go rubber carpet mallet style, and I'm going to try to hit that flat against the insert as possible. So about right there. Okay, all it took was a couple hits. We got that. You can see how flush it is. That's how you want it to look. It's gonna look a lot better on the mount, or even the rack hub system if you're using it that way when you do these inserts. Well, that's all it takes. There's both sides. Let's throw them up on the mount, and then we will adjust the mount according to how we want it to look. Got our inserts in. Now we're gonna loosen the ball joints to where they can move. Like, we don't want it to be super sloppy. We actually want it to be pretty rigid. So we're gonna move these until it's perfect. So you want these to be tight enough that there's some good friction, but loose enough that you can maneuver them. So a couple things to keep in mind is this grippy thing right here, that's actually loosening the ball joint. So you want to have that loose enough to where you can still move the ball. Okay, see how that moves right there? We want to tighten that tight enough where it still moves, but it takes some friction like that. One for each side. So as you can see inside there, that has to fit flush, that little nook. And that's still tight enough it can hold probably the weight of a deer antler, but loose enough that we can angle it. All right, same with that one. That's perfect. Let's toss this left side on, or right side if you're looking at it, left side for the deer. Again, this insert will pop right into place when you hit it just right, like that. Okay, so that ball joint is still loose enough I can move it, but tight enough that it can kind of handle the weight of the antler. So that's phase one. Not horrible. It's already coming alive. It looks pretty dang good, right? Okay, so again, I think I need to tighten this other one, but once it's on, and there kind of is a sweet spot with these. Yeah, it's a little loose. Dude, this thing is gonna look killer. Okay, this side's a little loose. See how that sags? I need to tighten up that ball joint so it allows me to position it to where I want it. But guys, it's already looking so good. Right in there, perfect. And then with the insert, okay, there you go. That's tight enough to where it can hold itself. Now I'm gonna maneuver them where I want them. It's honestly not far off. That's not horrible. Dude, that's a big buck. That's a little wide. I think it lays out a little flat, especially on this side. Look at that. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly where I'm gonna keep it, but you can get a dang good idea how that is going to look right there. What a tank. I'd say that's probably the biggest buck on there. The only one that might rival it is that one, a 183 buck. But this guy has definitely got a little bit of length on him. That one does have the mass, but guys, is that incredible or what? I mean, look how even that looks right there. Main beams. Even the G4s come in and almost touch those G2s. I think that's about dead on. God, that buck looks good. Wonder how wide he is up there. Well, what do you know? We got a measuring tape. Let's check it out. Outside cheater. Got it right there. 32, baby. Huh. Who knows if that's how he sat, but I don't think it's over exaggerating too much, even if it is, but it looks so good. I'm gonna tinker with these just a little bit, see if I can get them any better. But guys, that's just how easy it is to mount one of these mounts from Bryan with the Antler Tech system, which is powered by Rack Hub. This is such a sweet system. Not only does he sell them as full shoulder mounts, but Antler Tech also sells European mounts. So if you want to do this with a set of sheds or an old skull plate, you can do that. So I'm not affiliated with Antler Tech anyway. There's no discount code or anything, but I'll put their website in the bottom so you can shop. If you want to set up a set of sheds or even an old skull plate set, maybe one that your dad's got in the garage, anything like that can go either on a skull or if you want a taxidermy mount. So these, if you're interested in a taxidermy mount, I'm gonna link up Bryan's Instagram page in the description. I'll put it right here in the top. It is called Larsen Wildlife Artistry. So super unique name too for a taxidermist. But if you guys are interested in a shoulder mount, hit him up. I don't know if he's got any in stock, but as they come in stock, I will personally share them on my Instagram page just to let you guys know that they're available. Super killer idea. I cannot believe I finally mounted this old set. This set has been in my living room on the shelves for years and years. And don't get me wrong, it's fun. I can enjoy them from a distance on the shelf. But if you really want to display them and really enjoy them and bring them back to life, mount them on either a skull or one of these shoulder mounts. This is sweet. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this ever since I found this set. Just never had the means back then, but I'm not gonna lie, he looks so dang good. That's a big buck, man. That is a big buck. Give you guys a good look at this without wide angle lens on. There he is. I kind of adjusted him. He still might be a little wide, but I think he looks pretty dang good up there. The taxidermy alone is killer on the buck. It's got a gorgeous cape. I love those dark eyebrows. Big old mature buck, white face. And it looks great with those antlers on there. I like that darker look right there. That looks a little more like what my eyes see right now. Looks killer on the wall. Super, super stoked. Great addition. That's obviously not where he's going to go, but I'll have to find him a place. This is the mule deer wall, so he fits right in on that side. I just need to figure out where I'm gonna put him. We got a hole up there. Down there might be a little too low, so I might have to put him up there, but killer, killer work. Thank you, Bryan, man. I absolutely love this mount.